Hello everyone, welcome back to AI the Somnium Files. I think this might be the grand finale, I'm not sure.
Oh, you came! Good. Want something to drink?
Sure.
With water? On the rocks? You don't have to be shy. It's on me.
Well played.
It's such a bizarre case, the HB serial killings. That being said, the facts are fairly straightforward. Pointing out a culprit can't be too hard. Do you already know? Terror. Who are they, really?
I know. Uru Somizuki.
Right. Uru. We know he killed at least 3 people. Jin Furuwe, Chikara Horadori, Andes Komeiji. But why did he kill them?
I know why he killed Andes Komeiji. I suspect Chikara was out of revenge, and also because Chikara belonged to a rival organization, the Order of Percent, and Jin Furuwe possibly I suspect also out of revenge.
What was his goal?
Why did Terror kill them? Those 3, I think, were revenge killings.
That's true, I suppose, but that wasn't the main reason.
For the
That's
nirvanA
right.
Initiative.
The nirvanA Initiative. The loony plan to have humans reach moksha.
My question is,
That's
why am I discussing
Uru
this with you,
killed
Mama?
The 3 of them. We can put aside the little
Well,
details
I suppose you
for
would
now.
know with the Milky Balls and
The
everything.
most concerning aspect of the whole thing is the time difference. The left and right sides of the victims were found 6 years apart. Regarding the first victim, the facts are already in. 6 years ago, on
They were different
February
people.
10th, Jin Furuwe's body fell from the ceiling of Devaita. And this year, 5 days ago, also on the 10th, Uru Somizuki's left half was found at the stadium, not Jin's. Plastic surgery and complete organ transplants. It fooled the investigators into thinking they were the same person. But what about the other victims? Chikara, Komeiji, Tokiko. How do you
Chikara
explain
was
those 3?
Chikara's half that showed up 6 years later was very obviously frozen. You could see that. Andes Komeiji, I'm not sure.
You have
Tokiko,
good
neither.
intuition. You might already
But I'm gonna
know.
run on the assumption that they all... Ryuki and Mizuki were hallucinating. No. The timeline was not in the correct order.
Right. In other words, it's not like that. It's like this. This is the timeline that you actually experienced. The red and blue lines are intertwined, almost like DNA. You started on the red line from the top,
Moved here, 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 here.
and then followed the blue line, which led you to this point. You've traversed 4 X's. The left side is 6 years ago, and the right side is this year.
Yes,
to make things
we've been
easier,
bouncing back and
we'll
forth.
call the left side past, and the right side present. In other words, you came here, jumping back and forth between past and present, a day at a time, all to end up here. Now do you understand? Chikara's right half was found the night of the 11th, in the past. His left half was found the next morning.
Clearly frozen.
Komeiji's right half was found on the 13th. His left half was found the next morning at 6 a.m. 6 years have passed, and now we're here. In the present, Tokiko's right half was found on February 12th. The next day, a little past midnight, her left half was found in the basement of Horadori Institute. Long story short, the left and right halves weren't found 6 years apart. They were all found soon after each other. Nothing supernatural here.
Except the whole issue of that we basically switched timelines. We've been jumping, according to this, yes. But this still doesn't explain how we wound up. Look, alright. Follow me on this, because this still is unexplained. We start here. Jin Furuwe falls. That's fine. Jin Furuwe... Yep, that's fine. Then we have this. The start of the investigation. This is where we split basically into past and present. Past being Ryuki's, and present being Mizuki's. That's fine. Here is where we wound up with... These are both in the present. This is in the past. This is in the present. And yet, they happened on completely different... We don't explain. See, we're in the present here, and then we shift 6 years into the past. And then we keep on going like this. And then when we go here, we just switch here to the present. This remains unexplained. I understand what is actually going on here, but it does not explain specifically why we wound up, how we switched back and forth. Observe. Right? And they've cut out the 3 sides, right? Because here's where all of these go down. You can see right here where these theoretically happen in the, one day after the other, but it's still very different timelines. Because she wasn't... That's still unexplained to me. Why we, the player, were shifting between the two. Right. I understand that. But why? Why did we shift?
Anyway, that's just my genius analysis. Oh, but I know what you're gonna say. There's still tons of things that can't be explained, right?
I wouldn't say tons. There are some things that I'm not understanding. My big one is how we, the players, switched between the timelines.
Especially, who killed Uru and Tokiko? Jin, Chikara, Komeiji. It was Terror, Uru, who sliced these 3 in half. But then Uru was killed in the present.
Yes, that's been
February
bothering me as
10th.
well. I mentioned that in the previous episode. That
Tokiko's
he's
body
dead,
was
and yet
found
still here.
after that. So who killed Uru and Tokiko? Well, I'm sure this mess
And
will
that
be
has to
cleared up
do
soon.
with the past and present flipping back and forth. Something's wrong here with the
Mizuki?
time.
Her friend, and by you, Freyr. So anyway, good luck with the rest of your investigation. I'll be cheering you on.
That was an interesting voice change. Oh, that's because I see.
Huh? Who was I just talking to? Maybe I've had a bit too much to drink. It's awfully cold tonight.
So it's implied that we... I think I'm getting it. Okay. It's starting to click. We finally get to have this conversation.
Hey, about Kizzy. Are you sure she's okay?
Don't worry. I made sure she's fine.
Now you're so similar because you're from the same lab. Your results from the same experiment. Oh, by the way, it occurred to me today, while thinking back on everything that's been going down in this game, that Mizuki is probably the child that Quartz was trying to save in the Somnium, the one that was represented by the rabbit. The rabbit was probably Mizuki.
So, that makes us sisters?
We're not the same age, but we're like identical twins. We have almost
By the way,
same genes.
I think that her left eye is an AI ball.
That's crazy.
I just don't know where she got it from.
Don't say it like that.
But I'm your clone, right?
Technically, yes, but our DNA isn't exactly the same.
Mizuki's the improved
My
version.
genome was rearranged. Your DNA was modified on top of that, which is why you don't have the symptoms I have. Basically, you're an upgrade. The perfect version of me.
Right.
Don't say it like that.
Why?
If
Well,
I
I
revealed myself to you, you
Yeah.
would want to know everything. And one way or another, you'd find
it would have
out.
been too much of a shock with at that time without the information that we have now.
You'd find out that your genes were spliced. That your real parents
To
aren't
hide
Anju
her
and
identity
Shoko.
was to allow Mizuki to gradually come into the idea by discovering it on her own.
I didn't want you to end up like me. I wanted you to live a normal life. As normal as possible anyway. Get a normal job, a normal husband, get married, start a family, live happily ever after. A life like that. But if I showed up, I would ruin all that. That's what I thought, at least.
I see.
But then Mizuki
Why
went
didn't you tell
into...
me 7 years ago in November? I was already well on my way to an abnormal life at that point.
Maybe that's true. Yeah, the same as me. When I was 6, you were born at Horadori Institute.
So there's a 6-year
and
difference,
sent
so
here.
Quartz is 24
I'm
then.
guessing they thought it was too difficult to raise you at the Institute. I remember the day you arrived like it was yesterday. You were still a baby. But the moment I saw you, I got this feeling. I started bawling my eyes out. The people at the facility didn't know we were related. Makes sense. They were told we were from 2 different places. But we're both named Mizuki.
Really?
And we looked really similar. So to make it easier,
Everyone started calling you Big Sis, and then you changed your name to Quartz or something afterwards.
They called you Mizuki.
Interesting.
They took me to Horadori Institute every so often for examinations. Well, I say examinations. I mean
So
human
you were still at
experiments.
Iowan at the time, you were just being brought to the Institute.
don't think
Okay,
you
that's a little different
remember.
than what I had pictured it.
They did terrible things.
Did they bring
remember
Mizuki
getting
there?
shots,
I'm guessing yes?
Needles as big as boba straws. My time
That's
with
a strange
Horadori
comparison, but it
Institute
makes sense.
ended when I was 9 and you were 3. It shut down and we were finally free. That's about the time you were adopted by the Okiura family. But
Okay.
me? Well, I told you about me, right?
Yeah.
You were blind in one eye and had a heart condition.
Right. So it was hard to find a family who would take me. Ultimately, it was Mr. Chieda, the
Unless,
chairman.
of course, the gray eye is the blind
So
one.
when you were 9, you were adopted by...
The Chiedas. I spent the next 6 years there, up until I was 15. I lived under the same roof as Kizuna.
I see. That's why she called me Big Sis.
It's like I
Really
told
quick.
you, I want to know who did this to me. I know that Chikara was the mastermind, but I want solid proof. That's
Fair.
why I was investigating him and his institute. Then, out of the blue, he gets killed.
By Terror.
That's
Uru.
why I started following the HB case.
I see. You weren't originally on the case until after he died.
You said something about an eccentric woman?
Yeah, I was adopted by her.
Do you mean...
Oh, it's Boss.
Shizue Kuranushi.
That is an AI ball.
Which is why my name is Mizuki Kuranushi now.
Interesting.
You think that sounds kinda lame, huh?
No, it's not that.
You know how we're stronger than everybody else? Maybe she thought I'd come in handy.
So she wanted to make you work for her.
I don't know if that's the truth, but that's what she told me. Boss taught me how to fight. After she adopted me, she trained me hard every day.
Interesting.
6 years ago, when I was 18, I was hired as a top secret member of Abyss. Boss wanted someone who she could rely on. Someone who would never betray her.
Right, because
She
of all the
trusted
politics
me to
from the
handle
first
the
game.
most sensitive situations. Basically, I'm like a ninja. Well, a kunoichi, which is why my existence at Abyss had been hidden. The only people who know are Boss, Pewter, and Ryuki.
Ryuki?
Ryuki knew.
Why?
Did not
I
know that.
wonder.
Yeah. That explains why the bloodstains would still be fresh, though, is the switching of timelines. That was where I
You have
first
seen
thought
and
something
heard
was up, but
cannot
I
be
didn't think
shared
we were
with
actively
anyone.
switching. I didn't think we were as actively switching timelines.
If you do, I will kill her. I have an abundant amount of money. Even if I were to die, the assassins I've hired would still find her.
I see. That's why you didn't talk about what happened 6 years ago.
But I think it's okay to start talking now.
Why?
I was able to freeze all of Terror's hidden accounts. We don't need to worry about any assassins anymore.
I bet you don't remember anything from February 6 years ago, do you?
I do not. My body was destroyed in the explosion at the cathedral. The Abyss communication network was also offline, so there was no backup taken.
By the way, I'm curious. Why were we given the same name?
I don't know. Maybe they didn't really care about the name.
But wouldn't that make it harder to tell us apart at the Institute?
I don't think they had any trouble. We had code names at Horadori Institute. I was Mouse, and you were Rabbit.
Bingo.
And you remember what they called us at Iowan, right?
You were Big Sis, and I was Mizuki.
Yeah.
Is that what I called you?
No. You were still little. You couldn't talk much. You just called me BB.
BB?
Yeah, BB, huh? Anyway, we've already spent enough time here. We shouldn't be wasting time like this.
Good point. There's still tons we don't know about the HB case.
It's the timeline thing is really bothering me. How did we
Follow
do
me.
this?
I want to show you something.
It's the how that bothers me.
What is it?
Rarely. That's not very usual for me.
Oh, no. It's nothing. Let's go, BB.
But it's the how. How did we pull that stunt? That explains Ryuki, though. He's not been crazy. He's been going off between the two. Why are you in the suit? Right.
Ah! What the fuck? This is information overload. My brains are gonna flow out of my ears.
Jeez, just relax.
I can't just relax. What is this corpse doing here? And why are Kizzy and Leon here? Oh, and most importantly,
I know why.
what the hell is this?
What, isn't it obvious?
Wait, you're that stupid porno mag collecting old man.
No.
Yes.
Why are you dressed? Where is Genny? What are you doing here? And one last thing. Where have you been the past 6 years? Why didn't you try to contact me?
I'm sorry, Mizuki.
Has it been 6 years? Look, think about it. 6 years ago, okay, look. There have been indications that we've been switching timelines, alright? I might have to take my headphones off. I'm just trying to wait for a pause in the conversation here that I don't have to necessarily... that I can just let it sit.
I think I kind of get it.
Alright, look, before she gets into it, let me really quick... I took my headphones off for this. Alright. There have been indications that we've been switching timelines the entire stinking time. The fact that Date was appearing 6 years ago and then would mysteriously disappear and then come back into the picture at really seemingly random times was fairly significant. If I cared to check the timeline again, I'm pretty sure that I would find, at least when he was playing Gen, that he was missing from the past timeline 6 years ago. He'd be missing from that at that time because he was in the present being Gen, as an example. I think you'll find that his appearances in the present roughly match that of him in the past. You know, where he was in the past, he wasn't in the present, vice versa. Another indication would be Ryuki, where he was really showing up a lot in the beginning of the present timeline, where he was actually interacting a lot with people who weren't past Mizuki. And then, you know, basically, at least from his point of view, he's been switching between old and young Mizuki and Quartz here, or that's just what I'm going to call her to differentiate her. So there's been some indication. I didn't pick up on the Ryuki. I kind of got suspicious about the Date, but I wasn't really sure, and I didn't think timeline was the explanation, well, switching timelines so frequently. I knew there was going to be some time stuff. They kept alluding to it. I didn't think it was going to take this form. Now let's see how this actually goes down, because this is just basically my operating theory at this point with the information I now have. And even then, I've only just recently picked up on this. I could still be wrong, obviously, and I probably am.
6 years ago, Date lost his memory when the ceiling collapsed on him.
Then he got captured by Terror, but managed to escape.
And he's been wandering the Earth for the past 6 years.
5 days ago, on the 10th, he heard the news about Jin's body being found.
And finally got his memory back.
That's right.
My voice reaches Date's brain right now. That's because there is a reception device in his left eye socket. You can mute me by turning it off, but that's a real hassle, so it's still on. This is the same for Mizuki Kuranushi. She hears my voice too. Mizuki Kuranushi is kind of long. I'll just call her BB. Okay, so that's what that is in her eye. So it's blue because it's not actually Aiba, it's a receptor. Got it. Now, what I would like to look at really quick... No, not right now. No. I want to go back to the time chart. Really quick. Because here's the main... they brought the side paths back. Okay, here's the main timeline with the crisscrossing. All right, we look at, really briefly, we just examine our timeline here. We have present Mizuki, past Mizuki, where she wasn't interacting with Ryuki here, really. And if I went through and actually went back through all of this, when Ryuki interacts with young Mizuki, he isn't interacting with old Mizuki, obviously. They flow so cleanly between, I just don't know how we managed it. That's what I don't know. The really big indication that something was going on with the time, I might have mentioned this, I might not have, I don't remember, was with the discovery of the second half of Komeiji here. Because that blood from when he took Tokiko's corpse away was too fresh for that to have been 6 years ago. It shouldn't have been there. I actually believe I mentioned that that bloodstain shouldn't still have been there 6 years later. That was very unusual. And that's really where I got suspicious of that, but I still didn't think we were doing it quite so consistently as all this. Every 3 days... well, you basically switched every other day. I still don't understand how.
I know that Horodori Institute and Nyes are both caught up in the HB case.
Right.
Ren was created at the Institute, and he was acquaintances with Tokiko. So, by borrowing his mask, I could snoop on Tokiko and other members of Horodori Institute.
But why do you still look like that here?
Horodori Institute and Nyes people come here all the time.
Really?
Imitating Gen makes it easier to eavesdrop on them.
Can you cook?
Gonna be honest, this has gotten way out of hand. I can't do this on my own. We need to work together to stop their plan.
Their plan?
Yeah, the nirvanA initiative.
Yeah, I know what it
first,
is.
I contacted Mizuki Kuronushi.
Date and I met 6 years ago. He knew how to get a hold of me.
I shared everything I had, and told her to find you, Mizuki.
It's a 6-year time difference. Oh! I'm an idiot. I've been thinking I've been this Mizuki when I've really been the other Mizuki the whole stinking... okay, nope, I get it. I get it. I understand. Okay. That's how the time differences worked. Alright.
To help stop them?
Basically. What? Do you have more insults to hurl at me for missing 6 years of your life?
No, it's not that.
Maybe she just wanted to hear you say, Mizuki, you've grown so much, or something emotional like that.
No, not that either.
Ah, right. For you, it's been 6 years. For me, it's different. I've been back for 4 days dressed like this. I've been watching you guys the whole time, so I don't really have anything sappy to say.
I told you it's not that.
I'm home. Welcome back. Is that what you wanted to hear?
All right, okay, let me try this again. Mizuki, I'm home.
Welcome back, Date, but that's not what I wanted to say. I threw away all your porno mags.
Let's talk about it later. Trust me, if I explain it now, it'll only confuse you.
So in other words, the only times I was Date's Mizuki, I'm just going to call her Mizuki. The only time I was actually Mizuki was whenever the masked woman was showing up. The rest of the time, I was Quartz with Aiba. Interesting.
I don't know. Not here.
It's fine, I know where he is. Don't you have an idea too?
Is he dead?
Bibi.
But what?
Oh, nothing. I just wanted to call you by that name.
Last night, Date called me out of the blue. He told me about the corpse
Yeah, the other half of Jin Furue.
and how he was pretending to be Genny and everything else he knew.
I suppose Big Sis has already told you everything. Big Sis and I lived in the same home for 6 years, but I never thought my Big Sis was my Big Sis's Big Sis.
What?
So confusing.
That's Big Sis
Anyway,
Inception.
Mizuki Date, I will call you Little Big Sis from now on. And you, Mizuki Kuranushi, I will call you Big Sis.
Still, just as confusing.
Yes, it is. Mizuki is Bibi's clone. Date already knows this. I can't speed this up. Bibi told him. But Kizuna and Lien don't know this yet. They think they are just sisters,
I am a little embarrassed to admit this, but Leon and I plan to elope.
What?
May I ask why?
Kizzy's father won't accept me.
He threatened to send Leon to prison if he continued to see me.
And that's when I suggested that we run off together.
And I agreed.
So you two...
Yeah. They're both on the run for love.
But we don't know exactly where we want to go yet.
Right. We need some more time to think about it.
That's a really strange thing to say when you're planning on running off to elope. We need to plan our elopement. Not something you hear often.
I have told him that I am safe and sound.
And that's all he needs
Okay.
to know.
Well, I'm glad you weren't kidnapped.
I am so sorry that I worried you.
That's what the second
Yeah.
kidnapping. That's where she
I'm
disappeared
sorry
to.
about all this, you guys.
Okay, that makes sense.
It is snowing outside, but do not worry about us. My heart is burning strong.
That's not relevant to snow, but okay.
I've known her for a long time. She's a former coworker from back when I was doing bad stuff. Back then, I used to call her
Interesting.
Quartz.
Hey, don't just blurt that out.
Mizuki's name comes from crystal. The kanji for crystal can be read as Mizuki.
Crystals are the solid form of
I know all of
sodium
this.
dioxide, most often recognized as quartz.
Wait, so you were in a
A
thief
thief's
guild,
guild?
maybe?
The snow isn't letting up.
Don't change the subject.
I told you that we wanted to run away together.
Yeah, that doesn't explain why you're
I
here.
wanted to be with Leon.
I got a call from my old pal Date.
I asked him to unlock something for me.
Are you talking
Oh, that's
about the
okay. So they're
freezer?
doing. Yep, they're
No,
doing that in this main
I got
timeline.
that open on the 13th.
It was a different lock this time.
Anyway, that is when we
Oh,
met with
never mind.
Date and the woman he was with.
The woman? I was there too.
Why do you ask?
No reason.
It is currently 4:25 a.m. Daybreak is close.
Okay.
Okay, I'll ask again. What's the deal with the corpse? Why is it in the freezer?
It's better that you see for yourself.
Let me just show you.
Another corpse?
No, not one more.
Not one at all.
It's half.
This is the one you've already seen, Leon. Relax. Oh, maybe not. Oh no, this is the one in the altar. It's still the one Leon's already seen before.
So, you finished reading the file.
Yeah.
Now do
We
you
ha-
understand?
by the way, just in case I confused you earlier, we haven't been switching timelines per se. We've been switching Mizukis.
Now you know whose left half is in the freezer. Jin. Jin Furue. That's what he really looks like.
And this body?
Uru Somizuki.
It lit up.
Terror. He murdered 3 people 6 years ago. Jin, Chikara, and Andy's Komeiji. I can't really say anything more than what's in the file. Uru Somizuki. He's the child that was kidnapped from Iowan when he was 6.
It was Chikara and Tokiko who took him. They wanted to make him Jin Furue's donor.
So for over a decade, they did surgery after surgery, giving more and more of Uru to Jin.
Half of his face, too.
The skin he lost was replaced by an artificial skin made of carbon chitin. Half his face was transplanted onto Jin's as well.
Right. And it was only half because Jin had a percent-shaped birthmark on the left side of his face.
A holy symbol for the Order of Percent. It was
But then
considered
who is the
sacred.
current terror?
And Chikara, being a devoted follower, couldn't get himself to rip that skin off.
Which is why the left half of Jin's face was left untouched.
And after all those transplants, Jin's body ended up being cut in half.
6 years later, February of this year, Uru's body was cut in half.
So what was discovered was Jin's right half
Right.
and Uru's left half.
Jin and Uru are essentially mirror images of one another.
So when the
In
police were
some ways.
identifying Uru's body, they got their DNA sample
Right,
to
we've
compare
already
against
had
from
all this
Jin's
before.
organs.
We know
And because
this.
those were originally taken from Uru, it naturally follows that they match.
So that's why...
That is the mistake that caused investigators to believe that they were the
Right,
same person.
I get this.
I wanted to ask Shoma about the genetic experiments, so I visited
Yes,
him.
I was correct. We haven't been switching timelines. We've just been switching Mizukis. Interesting. Okay, that makes sense because the difference between BB and Mizuki is precisely 6 years. She's 24 at this point. So when Mizuki was still child Mizuki, Bibi was what age Mizuki is currently at and just happened to dress the same. Well played, well played.
And I looked like Gen, so it didn't raise any concerns.
He told me a lot.
About his body and his older sister. And about the hidden safe.
Yep.
That's what we came here for. Wait,
Shoma has an older sister?
Yeah,
you know her well.
Kizuna and Iris's friend.
A mermaid at Sunfish Pocket.
A mame doi.
Really?
Only a few hours ago, around 1 a.m.
I asked Leon to open the door to the staircase.
So the lock you mentioned earlier.
That's right. The lock to the staircase door.
That's when I asked them about their plans to run away together.
Then the four of us headed down the stairs. Leon carried Kizuna down.
And that's when we found the corpse on the
Okay, so
ritual
it happened
platform.
a little bit different in the main timeline. Kizuna wasn't there in the main timeline, neither was Date.
I used Marco's X-ray function.
Marco, it is a different AI ball.
Marco? The name of my AI ball in my
Okay.
left eye. He's pretty shy. He doesn't talk much.
Unlike someone else I know.
Excuse me, are you talking about me?
Mm-hmm. I know Iba really well. We were partners 6 years ago.
Yeah.
But he wasn't finished yet. So instead, I got Iba.
But Iba and Date.
Yeah, Iba and Date were kind of fighting at the time. And I needed to see if I was compatible with an AI ball at all.
Alright, no,
so...
I've got it all clicked.
I see. I apologize. I do not remember anything from back then.
From when the ceiling
Because of the
collapsed.
explosion, right.
Yes.
It's kinda sad. I made so many memories with you, Iva.
Very interesting.
Well, you see, I was so preoccupied with my work.
No, it was because you tried watching VR porn while Iba was still in your left eye.
That does sound like something that would make me very angry.
I told you 1,000,000 times, it was just a watermelon splitting video.
That outfit was so hard to move in, with the wireframe and all the stuffing. I don't need to explain it. You should already know.
Jin Furue, the child of Tokiko and Chikara.
He was born with a rare and complicated disease. It caused inoperable tumors to grow in the right half of his body.
Jin might have had it worst of all. He got his first transplant when he was really young. I don't think he wanted to take organs from Uru.
I don't think so
Remember
either.
what it said in Uru's diary? He said he wanted to apologize. I think he is referring to Jin.
So
Probably.
you think the transplant was done against Jin's will?
I'm not positive, but that's just the feeling I get. They're not going far away, are they?
They should be fine. They said they were going to think hard about where to go.
Alright, so this all makes sense to me now.
I've been wondering, 6 years ago, why did Uru cut the bodies in half?
That was for the nirvanA initiative, right?
Yeah, but what does that have to do with the plan? And speaking of, is the nirvanA initiative still happening?
Yes.
I mean, after all, Terror's dead.
Right. The mastermind is dead. But you saw it. On the night of the 13th, on the rooftop of Misatan. That was Terror. It was definitely Uru's voice. But Uru should have been dead.
Perhaps his voice was recorded.
Either way, the rehearsal happened even after Terror died.
Which means...
The main event will likely still happen as well.
Yeah, it's safe to assume it will proceed as planned.
But I still don't understand the full scope of the nirvanA initiative.
When?
I do.
Where? How? We are completely in the dark.
We are not.
Why don't you ask the culprit?
Yeah, good idea. Hey, Uru, what's up with your plan, you asshole?
No, that's not what I meant. There are other culprits.
Whoever killed Uru and Tokiko.
You believe they might know something about the nirvanA initiative?
Probably.
I don't know for sure, but they at least might have some clues.
We don't have enough information yet. Looks like we're gonna need some extra help.
Help?
Over here. Come with me.
Ryuki, I assume.
There's nothing
There's a
over
door.
here.
You would think that, right? But check this out.
Open sesame!
Marco, please.
What is this?
Do you like it? Erotic, isn't it?
What?
How is this in any way erotic?
Much more
It's
erotic
not.
than watermelon splitting.
Let's get going.
I'll give him that one.
Yeah.
If we're talking about genuine watermelon splitting, which I don't think he is, but we'll leave that one alone. I think it's best we don't go there. We're just going to leave that one be. We're just going to assume it's an innocent explanation. It's less taxing. The original sanctuary.
What?
I say sanctuary, it should be shrine, shouldn't it?
What does this mean?
It means exactly what you see.
There are 2 cathedrals? That's right.
Mizuki, look.
There's Ryuki.
Ryuki.
I'm here too.
Tama.
How is Ryuki doing?
Terrible. It was a bad idea to show him this place. He's been like this for hours.
He appears to at least be breathing.
He might not be if there was rope and a branch in here.
Nice.
This has been eating at Ryuki for the past 6 years. He regretted what he did and blamed himself. He betrayed Date and shot Mizuki Kuranushi with stun bullets. And what happened to Mizuki, Date, and Kizuna on top of that? Yeah, Terror detonated the bomb, but it was Ryuki who told Date about this place. If he never did, Kizuna and Mizuki wouldn't have been hurt. That's what's been plaguing him. He started drinking, which made the whole thing worse.
I don't care if he feels bad about it. I still don't forgive him.
Easy. He had his reasons.
Yep, that was BB, not Mizuki. Okay.
I was overhauled completely during maintenance a few years back, and that function was deleted. That's when Ryuki opened up about what happened.
Why didn't you share this earlier?
I couldn't. Ryuki betrayed Abyss. He did something you can't come back from. I couldn't let anyone find out.
So you protected him.
It's the same reason I didn't upload the investigation data from 6 years ago. I made an oath. No matter what, I will protect Ryuki.
But Ryuki himself could have informed us sooner.
You should know why he didn't do that. Why he gave in to Terror's demands.
He wanted to protect his loved ones.
Wouldn't you do the same?
Why are you here,
Date
Ryuki?
called me.
Yeah. I told him to head over to the
Yeah,
other
no,
cathedral.
I know that you called him here, but why?
Does that mean he saw Uru's corpse in Tokiko's file?
He did. Yep. And then he came here through the hidden passage.
That doesn't explain why he's here.
I heard. So she eloped, huh? It had nothing to do with the video. It was just Ryuki's active imagination.
Do you hate Ryuki? Of course I do. I want to shove a pipe in his mouth and stir up his organs.
That's a little extreme.
6 years ago, he...
Shot you with the stun bullet.
It made my heart condition worse. It affected my work. I can't investigate properly if I have to go to the hospital all the time. But when I heard you recently joined Abyss, I shadowed you. And February 10th, when you went to the stadium, I got there before you and found the corpse.
And shot
at
at
the time,
me.
I had no
or
clue
Mizuki.
it was Uru's left half, but I knew it had to do with the HB case from 6 years ago. I told you before that the one thing I wanted was for you to live a normal life. I couldn't let you get caught up in this case. I had to stop you. That's why...
You shot her with rubber
I
bullets.
see. You shot at Mizuki to dissuade her from finding the corpse.
That is a really weird way of dissuading someone, but okay.
Marco, can you send Iba the data?
Got it. Opening it. It is a cross-section of the 2 cathedrals.
Mm-hmm.
You get it now?
That explains why the staircase that didn't exist before now.
There's
Now
one
that
on the
makes
east
sense.
and one on the west.
Terror blew up the west one. This one, right here.
Which happens to be the same side Ryuki met Terror, what he called his execution chamber.
On the east side was Uru's corpse and Tokiko's file.
And that mysterious box.
Yes.
The one
Which we
connected to
haven't
the
addressed
ninth
yet.
building is the east one. You can take the elevator up to the president's office.
Okay.
Ryuki, you made a mistake. But lying around here in all your misery isn't gonna fix anything. If you really regret what you did, solve this case. That's the only way to atone.
Who's Dolly a boat?
Ryuki, I remember one night we went out drinking. You told me about your little brother. You always talk about him when you drink. You made him a promise, right? You said, I'll become a hero of justice. If I've fallen, I just need to get back up again. You used to say it all the time. It doesn't matter how many times you fall. As long as you have a body to do it, you climb back up again. Come on, Ryuki. Climb above the debris.
What if Ryuki's the one who killed Tokiko and Uru?
It doesn't matter if you're pitiful. It doesn't matter if you show vulnerability. You struggle, you crawl, and you make it back to the top. That's what we do. That's what makes us human.
Mr. Dante. Everyone,
Ryuki, now's not the time to cry. Come climb up here.
You mean...
Don't get me wrong. I'll only forgive you after we solve this case. So...
Okay.
Right. I think I've got the pieces now. I might make a follow-up video after I finish the game to actually explain what exactly went down. If people want it.
So, first thing on the agenda is stopping the Nirvana initiative.
When? Where? How? We don't know anything about it.
We should know everything except where.
We know
Tama
where.
shared all her data, right?
I did receive the information.
I didn't give it a close look. Ryuki, can you tell us more about the nirvanA initiative?
Yeah. I'll explain everything in order. First, Terror. Uru
Yes,
created
please
a video.
specify which terror, because we've got two of them theoretically running around here.
Uru created 3 videos. QR video, nirvanA trial, and nirvanA X. The QR video was the first.
Right.
The QR code on the signboard in Jin's body.
Right.
That was a link to the video, right?
Right. So it was first made public 6 years ago, on February 10th. The motive was...
There were stories about people who went missing after watching the video, but...
It was actually the second video that caused people to go missing, the nirvanA trial.
Now, does this mean that Uru deliberately spread the rumor that people were disappearing from the QR video?
It was uploaded on February 9th.
Back when Uru was still alive.
But what for?
I think it was a beta version of nirvanA X, the third video, for testing purposes for the main event.
Testing what?
There was a code, like BATS 490 in the nirvanA trial video. That code led to the Eastern Cathedral. The coordinates led to the staircase.
Yeah, but that door has tons of locks.
Right.
It didn't at the time.
But the staircase had another code. By solving that, you could collect the numerous keys located
Oh,
all
I
over
see.
the city. And those who did solve everything would be able to unlock the door to the Eastern Cathedral. Did you notice the box? Inside was a device that shot TC Purge.
Okay.
If you open the box, it triggers.
When it enters the brain, it can even overwrite the DNA structure inside neurons. It can make you see things, make you dance. It makes you do weird things over and over.
And it spreads in the air. If this virus gets out somehow, the human race is in for a rough trip. Can you picture it? The whole world going crazy. People everywhere doing unpredictable things. Crazy things. Over and over.
I'll be honest. I contracted TC Purge.
Okay, that explains why we're
Because
going...
I opened the box.
Interesting.
But it's okay. Ryuki has developed a resistance
But
to
that
it.
didn't happen instantly.
And he can't spread it either.
No, it's airborne.
Having said that, TC Purge is still a problem. Before the body develops a resistance, it can spread. Not
Really?
to mention the neurons that are damaged can't be repaired.
That's why Ryuki was acting weird.
Is that what it looked like? When I was infected with TC Purge, my symptoms got worse. Disorientation, short-term memory loss, hallucinations.
He's been seeing hallucinations for 6 years now. The mental trauma of what happened to his brother.
Anyway, those who solved the code and opened the box contracted TC Purge.
So, Shoma.
As a result, they started acting strangely.
And now, there are people dancing and rioting in the streets. And a lot of suicides.
I see. These people would have no motivation
And therefore,
to
they would
home.
just disappear.
That's why so many people went missing.
In other words, Uru's experiments were a success. He's dead now, but his plan is still alive.
I'm guessing his lackeys are carrying out the plan now, to raise the curtain on the main event.
I think I know what they're gonna do. They're gonna shoot the rocket somewhere.
With TC Purge on the warhead.
The
Right,
rocket
it's
will
airborne.
explode.
It's an airborne
And
virus.
the virus will spread?
Yeah.
Most likely, yes.
Tons of people will get infected with TC Purge.
It will grow in their body.
And inevitably spread.
From one person to another.
This will lead all mankind to reach moksha, an emancipation from this fictional world.
Even if this nirvana thing turns out to be bullshit, the virus itself is a problem.
Right. I don't know if it will really cause glitches to appear or anything, but it'll be mass hysteria.
There is already an uptick in suicides.
The final video, nirvanA X, is already public.
There's a 7-digit number, which is probably a time and a date.
Right, I remember when we talked about that.
15th,
Yeah.
12 o'clock.
Noon, today.
Iva, what time is it now?
7:55 a.m.
We've got
We
about
barely have
4 hours.
left.
Yeah.
Well,
We don't know.
my guess is the other letters that were in the video are some kind of code too. Maybe they point to a location.
No, I converted the letters to numbers and checked the coordinates.
It's an area in the Pacific Ocean. No land around. I don't think those coordinates are where the plan is happening.
Then where could it be?
Oh, I remember something BB said earlier. The culprit who killed Uru and Tokiko. Maybe they have a clue.
Right.
Well, in that case, there is one person. I don't know if they're the culprit, but they might have some valuable information. I didn't know where to find them before, but I've got a good idea now. That person, she's probably with Shoma.
Mame, right?
I understand. I'll tell you the truth.
Big sis!
Amame.
The corpse in the freezer at Brahmin. I'm the reason it's there. It's my fault. 6 years ago, February 11th, my father called me
I
here.
know this part. We've been here
Shoma
before,
wasn't
just
here.
in a different
Only
timeline.
my father would have a corpse.
Right. I know all that.
Genny didn't do anything wrong. I asked him to do it. And
No,
Shoma
that's
has
fine.
nothing to do with this. He just found out too.
Mame,
That
that's
does
not what we're here to ask.
that does explain why the robot was used at the stadium.
We're looking for the person who killed Terror and Tokiko.
What? Terror is dead?
You can tell us more about what you know at the station.
Amame, will you come with us?
No, no! I don't care what you say! You can't take Big Sis
She's not under suspicion.
I agree with Shoma. I don't want you taking Amame away.
What's the problem? We just want to talk.
Wait, Amame, did you kill Terror and Tokiko?
What are you saying?
Interesting.
Amame didn't kill anyone.
Mame, you know something important, don't you? Something about the nirvanA Initiative and Terror. Maybe something about Tokiko. That's what we're here to find out.
Look, I'm willing to let the deaths slide. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Something just occurred to me. Back 6 years ago, when Ryuki was knocked out, and Andy's Komeiji was taken away, we assumed... No, I might be on the wrong track there. Hold on. Let me...
Well...
I know this is a touchy subject, so let me say it. Terror killed Komeiji, your father. Stands to reason that you absolutely despise Terror.
Are you saying she killed him?
That's ridiculous!
5 days ago, on February 10th, did you meet with Tokiko? We don't have hard evidence, but a witness saw you.
Anyway, Mommy headed into Horadori Institute
Right,
by
I
herself.
remember that. I couldn't figure
I
it
saw
out.
another person follow her in right after. It was Tokiko. Tokiko Shigure, president of NICE Japan.
6 years ago, on February 13th, you saw Terror,
Yeah, that's
didn't
when
you, Mama?
Ryuki
At
got knocked
Studio
out.
Devita?
What
Oh,
happened
she
back
did see in
then?
there.
What did he say? You still haven't told us. I looked
That's
into her
right.
head yesterday, but there was nothing on what happened at Devita. But in the Somnium, Mame said,
nirvanA, collected, genocide.
which would mean you know something about the nirvanA initiative.
Right.
Ryuki looked into Tokiko's head. 3 days ago, on February 12th, he saw Tokiko threatening someone.
I saw everything. If you don't do as I say, I'm sure you know where this is going.
Could Tokiko have been threatening you, Amame?
Sorry. I can't let you do that. I came here to protect Amame. Date. If only you didn't find the body in the freezer.
Again, she can't be prosecuted for that crime.
The statute of limitations for abandoning a corpse is 3 years. She can't get arrested for hiding the corpse 6 years ago.
But I just can't let you.
Again, you're not making any sense.
Hold on. Are you hiding something?
Amame accepted every part of me. She saw me for who I was. It
We
wasn't
know
out of
this, Gen.
pity or sympathy. Her accepting me came naturally, like it was nothing. I've never met anyone like her, and I need to care for her the way she's cared for me. I promise to protect Amame, so I can't let you.
Kenny.
That's all the more reason then.
If you really have those feelings for her,
If we do nothing, Terror will accomplish his mission.
A terrible virus is going to spread.
the world will devolve into chaos. No one will be safe.
Not even Amame.
No.
So you need to help us.
We need Mame's information to stop this plan.
Amame must know something.
Are you okay with ruining her future?
Don't you want to protect her?
Then please.
And now we work on Shoma.
I won't let you. She's my sister.
We're not here for that.
But I have a bad feeling.
A bad feeling?
If she's not guilty of anything, then that's all the more reason you can't take her.
You've heard of just bringing people in for questioning, right?
I'm not gonna let anyone drag her away. I already lost my dad. If you take Big Sis, I'm... When I was in first grade, Big Sis gave me a radio-controlled toy. That's how I got into building things. She took me to robot expos, bought me books and parts, and she's working hard to save money.
She's
to send me to
basically taken
college.
over as your mother, essentially.
These last 6 years have been hell. It was hard and painful. Sometimes I wanted to die, but she's always cheered me up and supported me.
During all of the gene therapy,
Big Sis always protected me. Now it's my turn to protect her. She's more important to me than my own life. So if you're gonna take her, you're gonna
my
have
goodness.
to kill me first.
Shoma.
Oh, we still have... Oh, nope, we don't have anything.
Do you hate Terror, the man who killed your father? Terror's plan is still ongoing. The nirvanA initiative? It's going to bring Nye's madness to the whole world. We need to talk to Mame in order to stop it. Do you want Terror to win? Don't you want to stop his plan? Destroy his ambitions? Isn't that the only way to get closure for your father's death? If you resent Terror, if you want revenge, please. We need your help, Shoma. You finished that robot, right?
Oh, yeah.
You named it Robo-G, huh?
Yeah, it's the second one, like a second child, so I named him Robo-G. He's much more powerful than before. It can hold so much more weight than the previous model.
Like half a corpse?
Wait a minute, who cares? Could you people just leave?
Oh!
No way.
A thermite bomb.
What?
You're right.
It sure is.
That little... Hey, Shoma, what is this?
It's a bomb. A thermite bomb.
I know that!
Then why did you ask?
Why is it here?
I made it.
You made it?
Thermite reactions are pretty simple. You can make one easily using common products.
Why those
Why
cases?
did you make it?
Well, To get revenge for my dad. I wanted to get Terror.
You were going to use this on him?
Yeah, but I guess it has no use now. Terror is dead, right?
God damn it. You just made the situation so much worse.
Let's decide what to do about that later.
Right. There is a more pressing issue.
Yeah, TC Purge. Hello? Let's prioritize here, Date. Come on. I did that on a whim, even. I didn't even know that was relevant.
The two of them aren't going to budge.
I really don't want to do this, but if we have to use force...
No, you can't do this.
Yeah, I won't let you take Big Sis.
Genny, Shoma, that's enough.
Amame.
Big Sis.
She killed Terror. I mean, there's no issue with that, honestly.
It's okay. I'll come back right away. Promise.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You promise?
I promise.
Now, Mame.
Mame, you killed them.
Let's go.
I'm wondering if they're going to be able to turn a blind eye. Oh, it's a whole stinking Somnium. All right.
Is Ryuki gonna be okay? We left him there.
Well, we had to.
We couldn't just leave the bomb unattended.
So you left Ryuki to keep an eye on things.
The bomb squad should be headed to Shoma's house right now.
All right.
It's quite a shock, though. Amame was the one who killed Uru and Tokiko.
I never said that.
But she's suspicious as all hell, isn't she?
Yeah,
Regardless
she is.
of how suspicious she is, she should know something about the nirvanA initiative.
When Ryuki synced into her yesterday, he didn't find anything.
Do not worry. I received the Somnium data from Tama. Because we are returning for a second time, we should be able to go deeper than we did previously.
All right, we're ready to go.
Start it up.
I'm sure you already know this, but the time limit inside Somnium is...
Oh my god, alright already. If you say it one more time, I'm gonna sock you.
Okay, okay.
Look of shock on Boss's face.
Let's begin.
He is so happy with that. I just like how shocked Boss looked for that. Ah, we're picking up right where we left off last time. Fair enough.
That's the TV.
It is.
Welcome to the quiz show, Face to Face. I am your host, Andy's Komeiji.
A quiz show?
It disappeared.
I don't know anything.
Huh?
You lie, Amame.
Mame? Mizuki, the data we got from Tama might come in handy. It's from when Ryuki synced with Amame.
Right. When we shared information at the cathedral earlier.
I extracted the evidence data that looked promising and converted it to a more usable format. Project this outward, and the structure of this Somnium world will waver and unveil hidden information.
In other words, if we show Mame the intel we got from Tama, we'll get a reaction.
Yes, but not just Amame. You can use the information to target many things in this Somnium.
So you're saying I can target, like, objects?
Correct.
If anything looks fishy, I'll try it out.
The details are under look. View the information there.
According to Tama's info, in the previous sync, there was a quiz battle. This is the first stage, the scavenger quiz. Amame likes music and voices. She collected many different kinds of sounds. She became highly skilled in gaining information from sounds.
So that might mean that there's information in the sound of Mame's Somnium.
Right, I remember that.
During this sync, we should focus on the sound. This is Mame's Somnium from yesterday. Ryuki and Tama competed in a quiz battle to get this information. The information is as follows. Amame was often troubled. But when in doubt, she always chose the right option. When in doubt or when needing to hide something,
Yes,
she
I
chose the
remember this
option
too.
on the right. Thusly, all the occult quiz answers were on the right side.
So that wasn't just by chance.
This may be a common rule in Amame's Somnium. This is information Ryuki and Tama acquired playing the Spot the Difference game in Amame's Somnium. Amame came across many wounded things, important things, the heart, blood.
I
She
don't remember
carries
this.
all
I
of
remember
that
the
damage inside.
quiz show part that you're talking about, but I don't
All the
remember
correct
pulling this
answers
information
were
from it.
bloodied or otherwise damaged when playing the Spot the Difference game.
Oh, I see.
So we should look out for damaged things during the sync.
I hadn't made that
Yes.
connection myself,
Let's
but
keep that
fair
in
enough.
mind.
Looking back on it, yes, I can see that.
More information we got from Ryuki regarding Mame's sink. nirvanA, collected, genocide. Amame said these words.
That has to be about the nirvanA initiative.
Most likely.
Mame must know something.
This is the reason Ryuki decided to sink into Amame. According to the investigation, there was a high likelihood Amame saw terror when she found Komiji's body, but this has not yet been confirmed. That's all of it.
Looks promising for the investigation.
Yes.
Now, Aiba.
Got it. Somnium scan, activate.
Alright, we're gonna actually end the episode here, though. There's a lot I have to digest on this one. I'm sure you do too. So we're gonna go on ahead and end the episode here and probably do a nice grand finale for the next one. The stereo. And there's the broken pieces. We have sound, the broken pieces. We have more sound. Of course, Mame herself. And Mame herself again. And more Mame. As if we didn't get enough before. Ah, I'm sorry. Even more Mame. And more Mame. Did we want to add some Mame to that? No, we did not. Okay. Just wondering. 4 times was enough, or was that 5? I
8
lost track.
mental locks.
More than usual.
That shows how strongly she is willing to hide her.
Let's try talking to her first.
Currently, Amame has a secret, which she covers with a lie. Blank, blank. In this Somnium, inspecting objects will make evidence appear. You can check the obtained evidence by pressing Control. When checking something, you can select the Show Evidence option to choose evidence from among the options. That's great. Now we get to save. Thank you all very much for joining me, and if you liked this, please like and subscribe. If you didn't, please ignore me, and if you have any comments, questions, concerns, ideas, suggestions, or requests, please leave them down in the comment section below, and thank you all very much for joining me, and have a great 24 hours.